Hey guys, it's zKodla here, and today I'm going to be analysing Real Kiana and just who she may be in Honkai Impact. Okay guys, do note that there's gonna be a lot of spoilers in this video, so make sure to complete at least until chapter 23 of the main story if you don't want to be spoiled. And with that said, let's begin! Part 1. K423 and Kiana Kaslana. First and foremost, the Kiana that we've all been introduced to in Honkai Impact is in fact not the real Kiana. Now, we have to recall back on the second Eruption manga, which by the way guys is extremely important to read to get a better understanding of the Honkai Impact story. In this manga, Real Kiana is the daughter of Cecilia Shariak, an S-rank Valkyrie and Siegfried Kaslana. This family lived a happy and joyful life together until the second eruption struck when Sirin became the Herrscher of the Void. The separation. After the events of second eruption, Cecilia sacrificed her life to save everyone while Siegfried denied Dr. Einstein's offer to join anti-entropy, with the reason being to find his daughter Kiana Kaslana, which was now in the hands of Otto Apocalypse. Otto has kidnapped the real Kiana to experiment on her Kaslana DNA genetics. And several years later, after much failures in attempting to make a clone copy of Kiana, K423 proved to be successful when it gained awareness. At that time, Sirin was dormant in K423. The aftermath. So now we know that K423 and the real Kiana are two separate beings. One is the daughter of Siegfried Kaslana and Cecilia Shariak, while K423 is another clone created by Otto which successfully fused with Sirin's Herrscher core. We also know that in the Babylon arc, K423 herself knows that she is only a clone, and the Sanfreya gang knows about this as well. However, the main question still remains. Why hasn't anyone brought up the idea to find the real Kiana Kaslana? I've searched high and low and couldn't find any leads on this. Honestly, it seems like even Teresa has abandoned the thought of knowing where the real Kiana is. So although she made a promise with Cecilia, her best friend, to take care of her daughter and family, it also feels like both Siegfried and Teresa has abandoned their responsibilities despite knowing that the real Kiana is still out there, and have placed their focus on K423 instead. While Otto has been observing K423 and its successful persona replication, the story doesn't really discuss much about Otto and his plans for real Kiana. And the last time we actually saw a glimpse of real Kiana was during Teresa's chronicles, called The Everlasting Memory, in which towards the end, Confidential Records A3-76 points out the incidents after second eruption. And as for Siegfried's rescue attempt, we briefly saw this in the AE Invasion manga, when Kiana was training with database Siegfried. It would have been obvious who the real Kiana was, because K423 during that time didn't even know her own name. But Siegfried still chose to rescue K423 instead, and claimed that she was his daughter, even giving her the name Kaslana. So personally, I do think that there might be a chance that Siegfried actually wanted to save both K423 and real Kiana, but was not able to do so. And he might have been forced to take K423 instead to go by his Kaslana oath as the defender of humanity, because K423 essentially has Sirin's Herrscher core within her. Hence, Siegfried was forced upon his Kaslana oath to ensure a second eruption would not happen again, to protect humanity, and had to sacrifice saving his real daughter. Towards the end of the scene, Siegfried opened up to K423 and even gave her his real daughter's name, Kiana Kaslana, revealing that he sees her as his very own daughter. Perhaps he saw the spirit of House Kaslana in K423? It's obvious that Siegfried was depressed knowing that he couldn't save his real daughter. But after treating K423 as his very own, his demeanor and personality towards K423 changed as well. The flashback ends with Siegfried using the judgment of Shamash to most likely stop Sirin from taking over K423's body, which is apparent from K423's yellow and blue eyes, just like Void Drifter. So more questions surface after this, because we now know that Siegfried is alive, but there is currently no lead on his whereabouts. However, this lore needs its own video to be discussed about, so I'll probably make another one in the future. Okay, anyways guys, that's it for the background of K423 and Kiana Kaslana. Anyways, let's discuss about some theories I've been thinking over that could potentially be Real Kiana's identity. Part 2. Who is the real Kiana? So the first candidate is none other than the Herrscher of the End, also known as the Final Herrscher. From miHoYo's previous game, Genshin Z, also known as Honkai Gakuen, it's seen that the Herrscher of the End, also known as the Final Herrscher, is actually the original Kiana Kaslana, which ended up killing basically everyone in the entire world. Even in Honkai Impact, the Final Herrscher has also made its appearance in the previous era, PE, in which the Morph soldiers, yes, Kevin and Fuhua included, tried to defeat, but to no avail. The Final Herrscher managed to destroy the entire PE civilization anyways. We also know that from the second key manga, when Kevin and Sue was having a heated discussion, Kevin pointed out that they only have about 1,500 years before the Final Herrscher returns. So this means that towards the end of our Honkai Impact 3rd story, we will most likely be meeting the Final Herrscher. And who knows? This could very well be the same time as when miHoYo decides to reveal Real Kiana's identity. So the main justification on this theory is that every time the Final Herrscher appears, be it Genshin Z or previous era, she always has a striking resemblance to Kiana. Bruh, honestly, she was literally Kiana in Genshin Z too. The second candidate, Durandal, Bianka Ataegina. Bianka Ataegina, also known as Durandal, one of my favorite characters by the way, she was introduced by miHoYo in early 2020 with her debut battlesuit being Valkyrie Gloria. Now before everyone gets heated up, hear me out with this theory, please trust me on this. There are quite a few leads that have me thinking that Durandal just might be our real Kiana and also the real protagonist in Honkai Impact 3rd. Okay, cue the miHoYo love Durandal memes here. First, her unknown background. So there are many points that lead to this theory. The first one being her unknown background. Alright, so firstly, we need to look back at Durandal's visual novel, which by the way is very interesting, and I personally think everyone should read this to understand more about Durandal. In this visual novel, it was revealed that after being struck by a Honkai outbreak in her hometown, Bianka herself does not know anything about her own background and where she was from. Bro, she doesn't even know her own birthday, which led to her choosing January 1st, 2000 because it was so easy for her to remember. So here we know that literally no one knows about Bianca's background. Except, remember when Otto wiped out Teresa's memories after the second eruption event? So it could very well be possible that Otto wiped out Real Kiana's memories from her earlier years with Cecilia and Siegfried, then proceeded to give her a new name, Bianka Ataegina. Then sent her to an orphanage where she meets Ragnar and Rita. Another reason why Otto would want to create a new identity for Real Kiana would be to safeguard and prevent Kiana from being taken away by Siegfried. This is because, as mentioned in the start, Siegfried knows that he took K423 and not his real daughter. He would have had some plan in mind to reclaim back his precious daughter from Otto. Hence, the easiest way for him to keep Real Kiana under his observation and authority, while being active in front of everyone, would be to give her a new identity and change her hair color as well. It's also very suspicious that the first person Bianka saw after she woke up from her amnesia was none other than Otto. The second point being Durandal as the Abyssal Flower Wielder. Durandal is also the wielder of the 6th Divine Key, which is the abyssal flower wielded previously by Cecilia Sharack, who also happens to be Kiana's mother? Is this just a coincidence? I don't think so. And how was she chosen as this Divine Keys wielder? The Abyss Flower essentially has the power of decomposition and creation, meaning that it can decompose everything and also create, or a better word, repair damages to living objects. So how does this relate to Bianka? From the visual novel, it was also mentioned that Bianka is not like the others. She has the special ability where she has extremely high Honkai resistance. Her Honkai resistance is so great that the more she's exposed to the Honkai, the more resistant she is to Honkai itself. This is also one of the main reasons why I personally think that Durandal can never be a Herrscher, solely because she has such a strong Honkai resistance that it increases the more she's exposed to them. Anything that can't kill her literally makes her stronger. And that's how insane she is. Look, even Teresa mentions how uber powered she is. So going back to how it relates to Abyss Flower, she's the perfect fit to be its wielder because of how she's able to resist the decomposition side effects caused by wielding it. Alright, here are some other random theories that got me thinking as well. The third point being her name. Bianca also means white in Italian. Okay, no one knows where Durandal came from, so we don't know if she's Italian or not, but we do know that the real Kiana is from Europe. And hey guys, Italy is a European country, right? So maybe this is a clue that author wanted to keep hidden within Durandal through her real name. It may very well be that author dyed real Kiana's hair blonde, then gave her the name Bianka Ataegina to remember her hair color's origins. And guys, the first K423 battlesuit that we have is also called White Comet. So yeah. Hold up, wait. But what about Ataegina? What I'm about to reveal will blow your mind, cause it blew my mind. Lol. So I tried finding the meaning behind Ataegina and found out that it's most commonly derived from a Celtic source, with its two roots giving the meaning of reborn. Like, you mean how real Kiana was reborn as Bianka Ataegina? And 1 second, what do you get when you put Bianka and Ataegina together, guys? White reborn. Guys, white being Kiana's main feature, her white hair, and reborn, the fact that Kiana has to be reborn as another person and has to go by the name Bianka Ataegina now. Holy fucking shit! White reborn! What, you think it ends there? Of course not, guys. Bianca's name, when rearranged, reveals none other than Kiana B. Isn't this also quite fishy? Not gonna lie. Apparently, Kiana's name also means moon goddess in Hawaiian. And after delving deeper into Ataegina's meaning, Ataegina is one of the Lusitanian goddesses that symbolizes the moon as well. How coincidental. Both Bianka Ataegina and Kiana Kaslana share this unique similarity. It's as if author purposely named her after Kiana. The fourth point. Her ability to use the Kaslana house's gun kata fighting technique. In chapter 15, when K423 faced Durandal, K423 was shocked to find out that Durandal knows how to use the Kaslana house special gun kata fighting technique that was only used by the Kaslanas. Durandal did mention that she learned these skills in the library. However, it's still pretty suspicious that she specifically chose the gun kata technique to showcase to K423. The fifth point, her similarity to Cecilia Sharack. Alright, let's also focus on her features. Here, I'm about to share a picture I found on Twitter originally posted by this amazing person. Full credits to them for compiling this, by the way, thank you! As you can see here, Bianka literally has similar features and poses to Cecilia. It's almost as if she's Cecilia's daughter. Also, now that miHoYo has introduced the episode flower in-game during version 4.7, this might just be a hint that the Divine Key will play a bigger role in future chapters. We also note that during the start of chapter 23, Durandal has a monologue regarding her role as this Divine Key's holder, and whether she has the ability to unlock its zeroth power just like Cecilia during Second Eruption. Or maybe miHoYo is just hinting on a Durandal awakening battlesuit in the future. That could very well be Cecilia Shellrack. So you may be asking, if Teresa knows Real Kiana in K423, why isn't she searching for Real Kiana? And similarly, if Durandal is Real Kiana, Teresa wouldn't know because Real Kiana is still under Otto's surveillance. Otto probably didn't mention anything to Teresa if it was the case. Perhaps, maybe the only person that knows about this is actually Rita. In the visual novel, Otto specifically placed Durandal under Rita's care when they went on the Bubble Universe mission. It does seem like Rita knows about Durandal's true identity and has always been keeping an eye on Durandal to report back to Otto on how the real Kiana is progressing. Just like how Otto sent Rita as the auditor back in chapter 1 to disguise her actual role, which was to observe K423's progress. By the way guys, personally I do think this theory fits best since in the plot's benefit, having Durandal as the real Kiana would benefit the players as well, because there essentially won't be two Kianas to be confused over. And logically, there's not really an identity theft as well, because we've all been introduced to Bianca's own personality. And Bianca herself wouldn't feel that betrayed if she does find out of her real identity as Real Kiana. This is because she's already been living her own life as Durandal. But then again, if this is the case, then miHoYo loses out on introducing a new Valkyrie in the future to get those big bucks, right? So we never know. The third candidate, the secret third S-rank Valkyrie. The third candidate is none other than the secret third S-rank Valkyrie. In chapter 3, Teresa stated that there are 3 S-rank Valkyries in Schicksal working under Otto. We already know 2 of them, Durandal and Rita, from the Immortal Blades. However, we have yet to find out about the identity of the third S-rank Valkyrie. Teresa also mentions that the other 2 S-ranks are strong due to their natural talents, but Durandal is different because she relies purely on her hard work. Guys, it can't be Himiko because she would have already just said that it was Himiko, which was in the telecom with her. And it's not Teresa herself because she would have just said it was her, guys. Although Fuhua has the ability of an S-rank Valkyrie, and by the way guys, she's also a morph, in terms of Schicksal identification, Fuhua was officially an A-rank Valkyrie which used the class monitor position to disguise her actual role in Schicksal. In chapter 3 as well, Teresa has also mentioned that she rejected the S-rank Valkyrie promotion offered to her. Yes, Teresa's powers definitely matches or even outclasses an S-rank Valkyrie. However, in Schicksal, Teresa does not have the title of an S-rank Valkyrie because she explicitly rejected it. Also, unfortunately guys, it's not Cecilia. She's already dead, I'm so sorry. Furthermore, within the Herrscher files during Herrscher of the Thunder's release event, I couldn't actually find any recording of the file's contents on YouTube or on Bilibili. However, within the unofficial Honkai Impact's fandom site, one of the Herrscher files titled Amber, Read Me, reveals that S-rank Valkyries of Schicksal is more than Durandal and Rita. This took place after Teresa has left Schicksal for anti-entropy. Hence, it can't be Teresa that they're talking about from the start. In chapter 20, Teresa also mentions that Durandal now has overseeing authority over Schicksal after Otto was shot. Haha, yes! And that the third S-rank Valkyrie has been mobilized. So it's definitely not Teresa. There's also the Herrscher file CG that honestly remains confusing. Who is Otto referring to when he said Special Valkyrie? Could this be the secret experiment that Otto has been undergoing with the third S-rank Valkyrie, which might be Kiana Kaslana? And the question remains, who is this secret third S-rank Valkyrie? And why haven't miHoYo gave us any leads on just who this may be? By the way guys, Kiana was a B-rank Valkyrie when she was in Shixal, so if any of you guys were wondering. Now, let's move on to the last candidate. The fourth candidate, Genshin Impact's Unknown God. Alright, at this point, I'm sure most of y'all have already heard of this special candidate from Genshin Impact. Yes, it's none other than the unknown god that the twin travelers met during the start of the game, the sustainer of heavenly principles. There are just too many similarities and striking resemblance between Kiana Kaslana and this unknown god. The way she has a hatred towards mankind and mortals, just like Sirin. Heck, even the way she uses her powers reminds us of the Herrscher of the Void's void power. Guys, and if this isn't enough to speculate that she might just be the real Kiana, the unknown god and K423 shares the same Japanese voice actor and Chinese voice actor. Accordingly, this special event Stigmata, which looks exactly like our twin travelers from Genshin, will be available in Honkai Impact in the future. So there's a high possibility that the travelers might have been the Project Arc that was mentioned in Second Key, where Project Arc, which is also one of Dr. May's projects by the way, was tasked to leave the solar system and seek another habitable planet for humanity. So there's a possibility that Real Kiana was also sent out similarly to another bubble universe in the Honkaiverse, which may have been Teiwat. So this leaves us with the final part, guys. How miHoYo is using Real Kiana as its plot device. Her fate is still unknown to all of us. Just when will miHoYo delve deeper and uncover Real Kiana's identity? What will happen to our very own K423 when the Real Kiana appears? Now that Genshin Impact has been introduced and the Genshin and Honkai crossover is happening in version 4.9, I am more than certain that Genshin could be a part of the bubble universe within the Honkaiverse. It's just a matter of time when miHoYo feels right to focus on Real Kiana within the main story. And I can't wait for it to happen, guys! Alright, this took me quite some time to make with my lack of editing skills, but I honestly had a lot of fun doing this. So please do give this video a like and thumbs up if you guys found the theories interesting. Thank you so much guys for watching, and if you have any thoughts regarding the theories or even have your own theories to share, feel free to comment below and I'll be more than excited to find out even more about Honkai's lore. Until next time! And as always guys, have a good time playing Honkai. Have fun playing Honkai guys. Bye bye!